week, the Superstars of Wrestling emanates from the Duluth Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. Duluth is the home of the largest aerial lift bridge in the world, located at the entrance to the Duluth Harbor. Welcome once again to the Superstars of Wrestling, and check out these shades, if you would. This is Vince McMahon, along with Jesse the Body Ventura.
You know that aerial bridge, just like my aerial tactics used to be in the ring, McMahon.
Well, we have lots of aerial tactics this week I'm sure you will enjoy, and we're just about ready to get things underway.
We may see some strutting and some cutting from the Barber.
The adorable Adrian Adonis will be in action.
As will the Hitman, Bret Hart.
And we'll see Bobby Heenan's Islanders.
This is a tag team contest set for one fall. In the ring at a combined weight of 666 pounds, Rusty Brooks and Terry Gibbs. The opponents at a combined weight of 473 pounds from Birmingham, New York.
We were cruising the streets, looking for some action. Had my radio playing, on the road station. Saw three hot ladies down by the square. I said, jump in, girls, let's go party somewhere. Crank it up, blow it out, rip it up, let's party now. Crank it up, blow it out, rip it up.
The young Stallions, Paul Roma and Jim Powers, one of the most exciting teams in the World Wrestling Federation. And Jim Powers starting out with a beautiful power slam on Terry Gibbs. Knee to the midsection. And Powers from the top. Into the cover. But no, not quite enough to put away Terry Gibbs. And now here comes Paul Roma. And of course, Roma will be in singles competition this Saturday night in the Philadelphia Spectrum when he goes up against the $1 Million Man.
I happen to know that the $1 Million Man has his sights set on the World Wrestling Federation Championship.
Well, that's hardly a revelation, Jesse. Every competitor in the World Wrestling Federation is aiming to one day be the champion.
Yeah, but if the $1 Million Man wants it, the $1 Million Man gets it, one way or another.
There are some things in life that can't be bought, and the Hulkster's Championship is one such thing.
I don't know, it's like the $1 Million Man says everybody has a price and Hogan has his.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard you say.
Anyway, Hogan may not even have the title after Saturday night, and I know the one-man gang and Slick have a price.
Yeah, and not a very high one. Paul Roma impressing against Big Rusty Brooks.
Never count out Brooks. A man of that size is always a threat.
Absolutely. Oh, and Roma firing back. Roma from the top. Wow. Incredible stuff from Paul Roma. From the top, beautiful elbow drop. Yes, a win for the young Stallions.
streets, looking for some action. Had my radio playing, all my rock and roll stations. Saw 3 hot ladies down by the square. I said, jump in, girls, let's go party somewhere. Break it up, blow it out, rip it up, let's party now. Break it up.
Bringing in right now one of the hottest teams of the World Wrestling Federation. I mean, these guys are on fire. From White Bear Lake, Minnesota, jumping Jim Brunzell. From Tampa, Florida, B. Brian Blair. And gentlemen, talking about hot, we have got a very hot and volatile tag team situation here in the World Wrestling Federation, Jimmy.
Well, that's right, Gene. You know, you're talking talent in professional wrestling. You're talking the World Wrestling Federation, and that holds true for the world's tag team situation right now. There's a tremendous amount of talent. You just go right down the line, the demos, the Harts. You got Bravo and Valentine, and the list goes on, the Can-Am. Brian and I are in a great position right now, and hopefully if we can remain healthy, maybe we'll get those belts soon.
All right, as we wade through that list, B. Brian Blair, let's talk about, yes, the Demolition, the British Bulldogs, the Rougeau brothers, the new Dream Team. That list goes on, but ultimately everybody wants a shot at the champions, and they just happen to be at this time. Demolition.
That's my exact same sentiments, Mean Gene. You know, I went to our main man, HH, and I said, Hulkster, I said, we're facing some really big dudes. You know, and I saw you slam that giant down to the mat. I know you got it, what it takes. And I said, we just need a little bit of Psychon. We need something. And he said, wait a minute, let me tell you what you need. I know exactly what you need. You need a little pump on them wings. So we went down in the dungeon in Venice Beach, right in the gym there, and we saw that steel staring us in the eyes. And we started lifting, man. We started hanging and banging. We sweat and we swore. Finally, Brunzy and I passed out. The Hulkster woke us up, and we got up and did it some more. And now we're ready, Daddy-O. We're ready, Mean Gene. As a matter of fact, we just stopped by Hazel's last week, picked us up a quart of Orange Blossom Specials, Hazel's Honey Hut, 2 quarts. We're ready to go. Our toes are tapping and our wings are flapping.
Right,
we're ready for some jaw-jacking.
B. Brian Blair and jumping Jim Brunzell.
This contest is set for one fall. Coming towards the ring, from Brooklyn, New York, weighing 248 pounds, the Brooklyn Brawler. The opponent from San Francisco, California, weighing 272 pounds, Brutus, the Barber, Beefcake.
Brutus. The Barber Beefcake will have his hands full tonight with the Brooklyn Brawler, and he will have his hands full on Saturday, April the 25th in Boston, when he will go one-on-one with Canadian strongman Dino Bravo, a match I know Brutus has been wanting for quite a while.
Brutus is just upset that Bravo took his place in the Dream Team.
Well, it's a little more than that. If you remember, Bravo and Greg Valentine jumped Brutus and double-teamed him.
What kind of a haircut do you think Brutus would give the Brawler?
I would suggest Brutus would have to give the Brooklyn Brawler's hair a thorough wash before deciding how to style it.
Brutus is pretty out there with his outfits, isn't he?
You would know. Oof, Brutus with the point of the elbow to the top of the Brawler's head.
This Brawler is a tough customer.
Unquestionably, but so is Brutus Beefcake. The Brawler hammering away on the Barber. And the running knee, and we may be about to see an upset here. Brutus turns the tide with a back elbow. And I think we're going to see it. Brutus is signaling for the sleeper. And listen to these fans. They love the Barber. Shoulder breaker. And there it is, the sleeper. And it's good night for the Brooklyn Brawler.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Fans in Philadelphia, the World Wrestling Federation returns to the Spectrum this Saturday night for 8 incredible matchups. World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan will put his title on the line when he defends against the 450-pounder, the One Man Gang.
Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, this Saturday night.
You, Hulk Hogan, defend against the One Man Gang.
So, this is just another night, just another fight for me, man. But as far as the One Man Gang goes, he's no different than that sloppy Andre the Giant or the rest of those #1 contenders, man. I beat up motorcycle gangs, chain gangs, and even our gang when I was a little Hulkster. What do you think the One Man Gang's gonna do about that?
I don't know, but I'm sure he's going to be getting some input from his manager, Hulk. You know who I'm talking about, the Doctor of Style, Slick.
Well, if the Slickster decides to jump up in my face, I'll twist him up in a little teeny rod and use him as a toothpick and clean the One Man Gang's fangs, brother. This is between you and me, gang. I'm gonna bust you up real bad, dude. Hulkamaniacs, the prayers, the trainings, the vitamins. Now it's time for the dirty work. What you gonna do when I run wild on you?
All right, heavyweight champion of the world, Hulk Hogan, title defense, One Man Gang to challenge.
In a 6-man tag team match, the new Intercontinental Champion, ravishing Rick Rude, will team with the King and the Mighty Hercules to take on the former Intercontinental Champion, Randy Macho Man Savage, along with Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Dragon.
I know what happened. We all saw it through the video scope. Yeah. 1 minute I'm fighting, the next I'm waking up. The Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship is gone, but Elizabeth is still by my side. Yeah. I'm gunning for you, Rick Rude. Yeah. I don't care about Hercules. I don't care about race. I don't even care about Steamboat and Duggan. No. All I care about is getting you, Rick Rude, and I will get you.
In a tag team encounter, the team of the Junkyard Dog and the Birdman, Coco Beware, to face the new dream team of Dino Bravo and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Bret Hitman Hart to go one-on-one with the magnificent Muraco. Paul Roma of the Young Stallions to meet the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Leaping Lanny Poffo to meet the Outlaw, Ron Bass. Jimmy's Superfly Snuka to go one-on-one with the adorable Adrian Adonis. And in another tag team encounter, and in a rematch from WrestleMania, the Can-Am Connection to seek revenge against the Islanders.
This Saturday night, the World Wrestling Federation returns to the Spectrum in Philadelphia, and in a rematch from WrestleMania, the team of Tom Zenk and this man, Rick Martel, will be seeking revenge against the Islanders.
That's right, Craig. My partner isn't here, but I know I can speak for him when I say we are determined to be the ones that come out on top this time. And we are determined to achieve our goal and get our shot at demolition and become the World Tag Team Champions.
That's this Saturday night at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Fans, we are down to just a handful of tickets remaining, so make your way over to the box office right now. You don't want to miss out. For Event Center, I'm Sean Mooney.
This contest is set for one fall. Approaching the ring from Knoxville, Tennessee, weighing 242 pounds, White Lightning, Tim Horner. The opponent accompanied by his manager, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, from New York City, weighing 298 pounds, the adorable Adrian Adonis.
The adorable Adrian Adonis set for action against White Lightning, Tim Horner, here on the Superstars of Wrestling.
Look at that by Adonis, a perfectly executed suplex.
Yes, but look at that. Wait, what is that? And look at that! Tim Horner with the sleeper. Good night, Irene, on Adonis.
That's just going to make Adrian mad. That was an insult by Horner to try and beat the man with his own move.
Adrian Adonis doesn't have a patent on the sleeper hold, Jesse. A lot of superstars use that maneuver because it is very effective, including Brutus Beefcake, who we have already seen pick up a win earlier tonight, utilizing that very maneuver.
He doesn't do it like Adonis. Nobody does it like Adonis.
If you say so. Well, I just wonder if Adonis will be able to apply Goodnight Irene to the Superfly this Saturday in the Spectrum in Philadelphia. And if so, I wonder just how effective it will be.
You got a point. That move cuts off blood supply to the brain, but Snuka doesn't have a brain.
Oh, come on, Jesse. Tim Horner proving stiff competition for the adorable one.
Adrian Adonis likes his competition stiff.
Oh, and there it is. Good night, Irene.
And good night, Tim Horner.
Your winner, the adorable Adrian Adonis.
Killer Khan is an animal, a beast. His hands stronger than a gorilla or a orangutan. When he grabbed neck, he squeezed. The eyeball pop out from socket. Nose bleeding. Then he grabbed trapeze and poop. He has most powerful hand in wrestling. You will see.
This is a tag team contest set for one fall. In the ring, at a combined weight of 460 pounds, the team of Reno, Riggins, and Mario Mancini. The opponents, accompanied by their manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan, at a combined weight of 501 pounds. Here are Haku and Tama, the Islanders.
Haku and Tama, the Islanders, unquestionably one of the premier teams in the World Wrestling Federation today.
And this Saturday in Philadelphia, they will be looking to dominate the Can-Am connection just like they did at WrestleMania.
Well, I think it's somewhat disingenuous to say they dominated the Can-Am connection. Yes, they picked up the win, a highly impressive win, but it was a hard-fought match all the way, and it will no doubt be a hard-fought match this Saturday when the two teams meet again in the Philadelphia Spectrum. What's Bobby Heenan doing?
He's just having a word with the referee.
He has no business on the ring apron. He likes to interject himself a little too much whenever members of his Heenan family are in the ring. Tama in there now with Reno Riggins. And I think Tama is going to fly. Yes, indeed. Forget about it.
Fans in the New England area, the World Wrestling Federation is returning to the Boston Garden on Saturday, April 25th for what is sure to be a night of incredible action. And next Tuesday night on Wrestling Challenge, we will see a 10-man battle royal, with the winner advancing to the Boston Garden on the 25th to challenge the World Wrestling Federation champion, either Hulk Hogan or the one-man gang, whoever emerges from the Philadelphia Spectrum this Saturday night as champion.
Listen up, Hogan. The whole world saw that at WrestleMania you were pinned in about 30 seconds by the true giant of professional wrestling, Andre the Giant. No doubt on Saturday, once again, you'll cheat your way out of the Spectrum with the belt. But after that, you're going to have to deal with this man, King Kong Bundy, in the Boston Garden, after we win the Battle Royal on Wrestling Challenge. Your luck's running out, Hogan.
I've been in the World Wrestling Federation for a long time. I have accomplished a lot. I have been a tag team champion and the Intercontinental champion. I'm proud of all I have achieved. But the goal of every man in this sport is to be the world's heavyweight champion, and Tito Santana is no different. We all have dreams, and I still hope to make my dream come true. I will do my best to win this Battle Royal, and I hope to step into the ring at the Boston Garden and challenge my great friend, the world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan.
Arriba! What's next for the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time? I'll tell you what's next, Colonel. The only logical step for a superstar, the magnitude of the Honky Tonk Man, the World Wrestling Federation title. I was born to wear the gold, and if I gotta go through 9 other men, then beat Hulk Hogan so bad that he runs away and is never seen or heard from again, then that's what the Honky Tonk Man has got to do.
You gotta do it, baby.
You have to question the decision makers in the World Wrestling Federation when the Magnificent One has to defeat 9 other men to get his opportunity at the world's heavyweight title.
What an opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime. And all I have to do is defeat 9 other men. Nothing is handed to you in life, and nothing is handed to you here in the World Wrestling Federation. To reach the top, you have to give it everything you have and then give even more. You have to be willing to sacrifice it all and overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable. I've been climbing that mountain my entire life, and finally, the summit is in sight. But there are still many treacherous miles to go. But I can't give up now.
Also signed for the Boston Garden on Saturday, April 25th, Brutus the Barber Beefcake to meet Canadian strongman Dino Bravo. Be sure to tune into Wrestling Challenge on Tuesday night to find out just who will challenge for the World Wrestling Federation Championship in the Boston Garden, and stay tuned in the coming weeks for more news on what promises to be an incredible night. For Event Center, I'm Sean Mooney.
This contest is set for one fall. Introducing first from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing 283 pounds, Canada's greatest athlete, Iron Mike Sharpe.
Well, that was a little strange.
What are you talking about?
Bobby Heenan.
What about him?
Well, he was there with Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy, and all he could talk about was how Bundy is going to win the Battle Royal and challenge for the World Wrestling Federation Championship in the Boston Garden. John Studd is also in that match.
You're just trying to start trouble. The simple fact is Bundy is the favorite to win the Battle Royal. Would you dispute that?
As a matter of fact, I would. I think John Studd has as good a chance as King Kong Bundy does of winning the Battle Royal this Tuesday on Wrestling Challenge.
Wow, what do you know? You've never laced up a pair of boots.
Weighing 235 pounds, Bret Hitman Hart.
The Hitman, Bret Hart, one half of one of the great tag teams here in the World Wrestling Federation, the Hart Foundation, along with his tag team partner, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. However, the Hitman stepping out in singles competition here, as he will be this Saturday in Philadelphia when he will meet the magnificent one, Don Muraco. And the Hitman almost catching a quick one on Mike Sharpe.
You're never going to beat Mike Sharpe like that. He's too smart, too experienced.
Speaking of smart, they don't come much smarter than Bret Hart when it comes to the squared circle. His ring prowess is incredible. And there you see, already targeting the legs of Mike Sharpe, Hart is focused on grounding his larger opponent and weakening the legs in anticipation of the sharpshooter, a favorite hold of the Hitman. Oh, and look at that from Sharpe. 2-0.
Bret Hart is a fine wrestler, but he's been used to competing in the tag team ranks. It's very different from singles competition. I think he may well be shocked at how tough he finds it when he goes up against the magnificent Muraco.
Oh, and Hart coming down with a double axe handle. Into the cover. No, just 2. to the midsection. And again, Hart targeting that leg. Swinging neck breaker. And right back to the leg. What a suplex by Hart. Great power shown against a larger opponent.
That was impressive.
Speaking of impressive, how about that? Hart looking to end it. No.
Look at that. There's the veteran instincts of Mike Sharpe just taking a few seconds to collect himself. You know, Bret Hart is a second-generation wrestler.
Absolutely. His father, Stu, one of the greats, and he has taught Bret very well, might I add. Oof! Clothesline by Sharpe, and with that apparatus on his arm, that will be extra devastating.
Hey, it's protection for an injury.
So I've heard. At this point, I can only imagine that Mr. Sharpe visits the same doctor as Cowboy Bob Orton. That was a mistake by Sharpe. What, he executes one move and he's that enamored with himself? Are we going to see the sharpshooter? No, not yet.
I think maybe Hart was looking for the sharpshooter that time, but Sharpe had it scouted.
And look at this from Mike Sharpe. No, a gamble that did not pay off. And the Hitman stomping on Sharpe in the corner. And here it comes. No.
I think Hart has made some mistakes. He's passed up a couple of opportunities to go for the sharpshooter.
Oh, but Hart rolls him up. He got him. Next week on the Superstars of Wrestling, the return of a monster, Killer Khan. Until then, for Jesse the Body Ventura, I'm Vince McMahon, thanking you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.